Hey everybody, Marcus Graves here to react to another show. This is The Haunting of Hill House. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this show. Figured I'd switch things up, do a little bit of horror, on the channel. But this is the first episode. Steven sees a ghost. Let's get on into it.
Okay, Nellie? You scared? Why are you awake, Luke?
'Cause Nellie's awake.
She's crying right next to me, so...
Where was she? Oh boy. Guess we better take a look.
And this is where you get your face ripped off.
Can spill out sometimes.
His eyes are really striking, particularly in this lighting.
Now I know that bent neck lady is really scary.
Bent neck lady.
And that's all she.
Then we can go.
Yeah.
Kid with the glasses kind of reminds me of Jonathan Lipnicki, if anybody remembers who that is. Getting ready for the jump scare. If it's going to be one. Shit. That was good.
Luke?
Come to me. It is the only way. I knew it. I freaking knew that was gonna be something.
It started with drops of water, like raindrops falling onto my face. I started to hear a car horn on my head. Short, I felt the water, and I heard the car horn. And then I looked up at the ceiling, and there he was, hanging there, upside down. I could see the water dripping off of his hair. It's funny, you think you'd scream after seeing something like that, but you don't. You just stare.
Freeze.
It's a very interesting story, Mrs. Walker.
Thought I saw his name in the credits. Dario Naharos. I have heard that the show is non-linear, and I'm guessing this is how they convey it visually. Where you have the present day, or what I assume is present day, and a neutral color correction, while the older has a amber hue.
I'm sorry,
Oh, the Haunting of Hill House,
silently,
maybe?
steadily against the wood and stone at Hill House.
Girl, I wrote it. No, then I was wrong. Maybe it's reversed. That this is present day. Yeah, it's reversed. That's funny. They usually give the older timeline the amber hue.
Alright. Just tonight.
God damn, his eyes are striking. Like piercing, like, yo, you sure you ain't a ghost, motherfucker? Wake up and see it on the ceiling. Or is she on the ceiling? Yeah, that's creepy as shit.
Viewing is just a way to do that. Her one last time and tell her you love her.
I don't need to say goodbye. That's what
Because she's
Mama
not
said.
going.
Mommy keeps sitting on my bed at night,
Mm-hmm.
touching. She just stares at me, and her eyes must hurt.
What?
Because she doesn't blink.
It could be a pony. Something was moving. I saw the shadow under the door.
This door's been locked for years and years and years and years.
Need more keys! It's an emergency!
Shadow's gonna move under the door.
I know you don't need me to tell you.
So, does this stuff, capture the supernatural?
Don't believe in that word. I prefer preternatural. Natural phenomena that we don't quite understand yet.
So does it capture that?
That was really good. I have to work tomorrow.
So
Early.
you have to leave.
Oh.
You were by yourself, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember the bent neck lady?
He's back.
Nell, where are you?
I'm at home.
Was he playing their dad in the flashbacks as well? Because I know this actor. If he was, I didn't recognize him.
Get up. Get up. We gotta get out of here right now.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the same actor. I'm like, I know that actor, and he definitely wasn't playing the younger version. The bent neck lady probably got the mother, which attributed to the siblings' contentious and distant relationship with each other.
We're gonna run. You keep your eyes closed no matter what. You keep them closed.
He came and got him. What happened to his siblings?
Eyes closed. Get back in the car.
I saw Lava
Oh, he already got them.
She was in
That's not Mom.
Now he's in the red room.
The staff hasn't lived on the ground since 1948.
iPhones, their clothes. Why is she dressing
And you know
colonial?
what those things do. The world is dark, young man, and the only light is
And full
the
of
light Lord
terrors.
Jesus Christ.
What's next?
That girl in the tree.
Theo can't rip this one. It's not allowed.
I'll tell her.
Will you hang out with me?
Just
You
a
want
cute
me to?
kid.
Where do you get the ideas for these drawings?
Like the woman screaming in the bed. The apparition, the wife, whoever it was in the father's bed.
Did you tell Luke where I live? Did you bring him here? Christ, Nell. So you hit up everybody. What's so damn important now? Shit.
She can't speak.
The address. I can't hear you.
You hear me? I said it's about Nell.
I know. I just walked in and she's
Nell's dead.
Lying. She was at the house. She's dead.
With the non-linear timeline, they show the dichotomy of the family dynamic. You had the brothers and the sisters who were thick as thieves, really. And of course, they were all changed by that one night. You see they're contentious. Some are traumatized. Mostly the ones who have seen. Well, they haven't conveyed if Shirley and Theo have seen anything. Most likely they have, and maybe they're just like Steve. They have, and they may not be explaining it away, but they also can't explain it. They just kind of leave it alone. That's possible as well. But we see the ones who were most affected by, or at least in this episode, the only ones who were conveyed, other than Steve, to have seen the apparitions. And you see their fall. Nell has become anxious and skittish and fearful. And Luke has turned to drugs of some sort. Resorting to thieving and everything to get the money, the money that he needs, going in and out of rehab. And you see all of them dealing with the trauma in their own way, whether they actually saw the apparitions or all of them having to deal with the issue of their mother. Shirley drowns in family and work. Theo drowns in women. Luke drowns in drugs. Nell drowns in fear. Steve drowns in disbelief. Now going to the Red Room and the mystery of the Red Room, even what was said to be the master key could not open it. But we see Nell dancing with something. And at 3:03 or 12:03, but basically at that exact time, the other four siblings snap awake, unable to breathe, and Shirley says, Nellie's in the Red Room. The suffocation aspect may come from the fact that of the moment when she died, that her breath was snuffed out, and the other siblings felt that supernaturally. The other thing I'm questioning is she said Nellie's in the red room. They must have opened the red room at some point after, she and Nellie tried to get it open before. Now, Shirley said that. Do they all realize that? Or was that only Shirley that realized it? Shirley and Nellie were the only ones that tried to get into the red room that we saw in this episode. It must be, because the others, particularly Steve, didn't seem concerned. Like, obviously concerned when you wake up because you start awake, unable to breathe. But none of them had the same reaction as Shirley. So Shirley also is privy to some knowledge that the other siblings are not. Because we see the broken statues in the intro, shattered, crying or yelling out, distraught, breaking. And not that they are broken, but they are breaking at that moment. And then when we go into the red room, we see all the statues there. Other than the obvious of, the statues breaking, people breaking. Other than the obvious of that, I wonder what further significance will be conveyed as the story goes on there. I wonder if they'll touch upon the aspect of the families that Steve talks with and makes their stories into his books. That in a way, and they kind of touched upon it here, that the grief makes you not want to forget that person or leave that person in the past. Because when he tells her that wasn't her husband, as Irene, I believe her name was, when he tells her that wasn't her husband, as harrowing and undesired as that image of her husband, that visual of her husband is, to hear it be dismissed was almost like dismissing the husband's existence entirely. Kind of touching upon grief, and even though it's hard and it's difficult to think of them in a particular situation, especially if their death was traumatizing, that's all you have left of them. And we kind of see, maybe not exactly in the same way, for the father, yes, not in Steve's case, but in a similar vein, we see the idea of wanting to hold on to your loved ones. When the father wakes up in his bed from the screaming apparition, which given Nell at the end may just be either a reflection of the apparition that took their life or some other significance in there. But when the father wakes up, we see he's still wearing his wedding ring, though his wife has passed. And we see that Steve, on the drive back to his place, talking to his ex-wife, still has his ring on as well. And though his wife is not dead, trying to hold on to what was. And what was said at the beginning, the narration at the beginning, where it says that, reality, paraphrasing, but that reality is unsustainable. We use fantasies and the other world, the supernatural, in order to not live in the crushing weight of what reality truly is. The kind of double meaning that's in that, where Steve would say it as a dismissive thing, that people hold on to these ideas of ghosts and this, that, and the other in order to not deal with reality, where the double entendre in that is, well, the reality is that these things actually exist, and the crushing weight that there is something more powerful than you. The crushing weight of what you thought were fantasies. These terrifying shadows in the night are not just fantasies, they are the crushing reality. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other content that I have on there, my short film Yin and Yang, reactions, breakdowns, and much, much more to come. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.